Hi, boys and girls. Today for reading, we are going to be focusing on the objective. I can identify the author's point of view and use evidence from the text to support. So today we're going to be reading Dolores Huerta, Growing Up Strong. I know that you guys read this yesterday, but we're going to be reading it together today and discussing it. So once again, we are focusing on the essential question, what do good citizens do? So that is our essential question this week. This story is a biography. I want you guys to think a minute. Do you remember what a biography is? A biography is a story, a nonfiction story about someone's life. So this was written about Dolores Huerta, and it is true. It is not an autobiography. An autobiography is when someone writes a story about themselves, but this is a story called a biography that was written about Dolores Huerta's life. Okay, so this is called Dolores Huerta, Growing Up Strong. As you are reading today or following along as I read, I want you to be thinking about what is the author's point of view of Dolores Huerta. Dolores Huerta learned to help people by watching her mother. Good citizenship was important to her, and she taught Dolores that women can be strong leaders. When Dolores Huerta grew up, she had the same beliefs. Good citizens. Dolores was born on April 10th, 1930. She lived in a small town in New Mexico until she was 3 years old. Then she moved to California with her mother and 2 brothers. Dolores grew up watching her mother participate in community organizations. Her mother believed that all people deserve to be treated fairly. I'm thinking that this author is saying lots of nice things about Dolores and her mother. He has lots of good things to say about them. So that's kind of making me think about what he thinks about them. When Dolores was a young girl, her mother owned a hotel and a restaurant. Many farm workers who lived in their town were poor and hungry. They were paid very little for their hard work. Dolores' mother let them stay at her hotel and eat at her restaurant for free. This taught Dolores and her brothers that good citizens get involved in the community by helping their neighbors. Wow, Dolores' mom was a really great person. She was a really good role model for her daughter and her son. She was a really good citizen. So down here there is a photograph. And this is a photograph of farmers working in the fields. And the caption says, Dolores Huerta helped farm workers who spent many hours working in the fields. This reminds me of driving through some of the farmland that we have around Temecula. I have seen people working like this in the farm, and I bet on those really hot days that it is really hard work. So this is a photograph of Dolores Huerta, and this photograph looks like it was taken a while back. I can tell that because of her shirt and the cars in the background. They kind of look like they are maybe, I don't know, from the 60s or 70s. And this is Dolores, and it looks like that she's doing something near the farm fields. Dolores goes to school. Dolores saw how hard life was for farm workers in California. She wanted everyone to be treated fairly. So her mom was a good citizen. So now Dolores, when she went to school, she turned into a pretty good citizen too. And I know that because she wanted everyone to be treated fairly. And good citizens want good things for other people too. This attitude continued as she attended college and studied to become a teacher. Many of the students that Dolores taught were the children of farm workers. These students were often tired and hungry. They came to school barefoot because they had no shoes. Dolores knew she needed to help them. As a result, she went to her school's principal and proposed some good ideas. She tried to get free lunches and milk for the children. She tried to get them new clothes and shoes. Trying to help the children was a daring thing for Dolores to do. I wonder why it was so daring for her to do that. The other teachers did not agree with her ideas. Dolores risked a lot, but her beliefs did not waver. Aha! I know now that it was a daring thing for her to do, because when you're doing something that other people don't agree with, that's tough. That means that you are being brave and you're standing up. And if you are being daring, you are being brave. Dolores risked a lot, but her beliefs did not waver. She decided to do something about the unfairness that she saw. She wanted to find a better way to help farm workers and their families. Dolores stands strong. Every day, Dolores saw people working in unusually unsafe and disagreeable conditions. She was horrified. Many farm workers had little money to feed their families. Dolores decided to do something. In 1955, Dolores met Cesar Chavez. He wanted to make life better for farm workers too. Dolores and Cesar organized the workers into a group called the National Farm Workers Association. This group protected the rights of the farm workers. It helped make big farms treat them better. As a result, working conditions on the farm improved. Growing up with a mother who cared about other people taught Dolores to be a good citizen. Her kind and brave acts helped farm workers and their families. Who is a good citizen? Dolores Huerta is. So boys and girls, remember, it's really important for us to read everything on the page. So let's look at the caption and the picture at the top. This is a photograph of Dolores. And the caption says, she speaks out for farm workers at a rally in 1969. She looks very serious about her work. So down here, this is a timeline. And this timeline is titled Dolores, Strong and Fair. And it says here, the timeline shows important dates in Dolores Huerta's life. So a timeline shows, like it says, important dates in a person's life, and it starts and it goes in chronological order. And what that means is that on the left, you are going to have her birth, and then it's going to go, the years are going to increase as you go to the right. So in 1930, Dolores is born. In 1933, she moved to California. 1953 to 1955, she worked as a teacher. In 1955, she met Cesar Chavez. And this is in 1962. This is a picture of Dolores and Cesar. And in 1962, Dolores and Cesar started the National Farm Workers Association. In 1975, helped pass laws to protect farm workers. So Dolores did that. And then way over here in 1998, she earned a Human Rights Award from President Clinton. So yesterday, you wrote about how was Dolores a good citizen. So how did her actions make her a good citizen? What did she do that made her a good citizen? I want you to think about that. And then also it's asking, what can you do to improve the lives of people? I want you to think about what you can do to improve the lives of people. But today we're going to be focusing on the author's point of view. Remember, that was our objective. So up here at the top it says, point of view is what an author thinks about a topic. Look for details that show what the author thinks. Decide if you agree with the author's point of view. Find text evidence. What does the author think about Dolores Huerta? I can reread and look for details that tell me what the author thinks. This will help me figure out the author's point of view. So we have a chart here. We have details. Dolores' mother taught her to be a good citizen and a strong leader. Helping her students was a daring thing for Dolores to do. So you're going to come up with one more detail, and then you are going to write down, what do you think the author thinks about Dolores Huerta? What is his point of view of Dolores Huerta? You're going to finish this chart in your Google slide presentation today as a part of your reading work. And then tomorrow we will talk about the answers. Thank you.